Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
And I am Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 11. The episode is titled Moonshine and Monthiversaries. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. I don't have one couple that I want to talk about first.
I do think this episode was a lot better.
Okay, who you want to start with? You?
We can go with Nicole and Chris. That's who I wrote first.
Okay. Nicole and Chris. Nicole's dad, Mark, comes by. He brings Charlie to visit. And
so her dog was there.
Yeah, all three dogs were there. And then he kept acting like he didn't remember Chris's name.
Yeah.
And I was like...
That's hard to believe.
I was like, don't come to my house doing it. Like, don't play with me. Her dad offered a lot of advice on Nicole. One thing being, don't change for Nicole, do it for yourself. This was in reference to Chris saying, you know, he finds himself waking up a little bit earlier every day because Nicole is up and getting her day started. I was like, that is what the honeymoon phase feels like. I remember like trying to get up with you some mornings, and I was like, I'm not about this life. And I'm still not about this life.
Yeah.
I can't wait to stop having a baby wake me up all night so that I can go back to my normal sleep patterns.
Yeah. I don't think I don't know. Go ahead.
Her dad says that Chris needs to get some BDE. Big peen energy.
Yeah.
Sidebar, you remember the conversation we were having with my sister about that word?
Yep.
I'm not even going to go there this morning. It just made me laugh. Nicole and Chris set up a Redneck Bus Tour. They don't have a Southern connection, apparently.
Nah.
Like outside of them living in the South currently. Redneck Bus Tour was supposed to be a comedy tour. And at the end of it, they did a moonshine tasting. And as I watched, I thought to myself, we should get your uncle to go.
I found out a cooter was a turtle.
I didn't know what a cooter was.
I knew what I thought a cooter was.
It's what everybody thought a cooter was.
But apparently a cooter is a turtle.
I didn't know
I didn't look it up, so don't fact check me. But
that's what she said.
That's what she said.
I can't argue with what she said because she doing a tour, not me. I just been Southern my whole entire life. Yeah. Almost 36 years of Southernness.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never heard a cooter was a turtle. And I got some deep Mississippi roots.
I was trying to figure out where did cooter come from. Like, when did you start calling it a cooter? But anyway.
I've never called it a cooter.
I never said cooter.
Until today?
Until today. Well, I mean, I've said it before, but I've never called it a cooter. If you don't know what it is.
Let's not do that. So they talk about the four of them. I'm sorry. Clint and Gina went on this tour with them.
Yeah.
And they have a conversation about changing last names. Gina said, if we're still together in a year, absolutely. Nicole was like, I just don't want to do it now. There's so much paperwork involved. And I'm almost 7 years married, and my name is still my maiden name on a lot of things.
Yeah, but a lot of things you change. But I get their point in like not being immediately changing their name and stuff. They still got to get through the trial period.
Hell, I knew you and I wouldn't immediately change my name. Like, no.
You know,
it is a I'm sure COVID has made it worse, but it is a logistical nightmare. I remember going to like I had to send over information to the title company for my car to change my last name because I paid off my car after we were married. Yeah. And the state of Georgia still does not recognize my last name as being your last name when they mail me my stuff to go and pay them their money annually. Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm glad the men didn't take it upon themselves and be so, oh no, you need to change your last name, blase, blase, blase. Just because it's like, no. Like we know it's a process. We know it's something that you guys have to do. So
you can do it too.
Have the conversation and then,
you see how that gets ignored?
Yeah. Have the conversation and then move on. Like, oh, okay, you're going to change it then? Because I think that's how we handled it. You was like, well, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. I was just like, okay, whatever.
I still go by my maiden name on a lot of things, especially at fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
I don't have to spell it.
I go by my maiden name too.
Chris gets a small helicopter and flies it around the living room after this Moonshine tour to show Nicole that they're going to go on a helicopter ride for their Monthiversary. After the helicopter ride, they sit down at their house and watch their wedding video. And Nicole annoys not only Chris, but me too, at critiquing herself and complaining about her hair and makeup.
I wonder why she has like such image issues and what she has to do to get over that. Because it's like,
what did Cat Williams say? It's esteem
of yourself. But it's like, for me, it's like, okay, if you are at the point where one person has to think things about you, like it's important for Chris to think things about her. Everything else, like, you should be, okay, this is the way I look. She didn't like her makeup on her wedding day. She was like, my hair fell, this and that. Like, I don't like the way my body is shaped, right?
Okay.
So my thing is, let me go work out. Let me try to eat better. Let me try to do this. If you don't like something about yourself, change it.
Well, I don't know what she could have changed about her hair or her makeup besides fixing it herself.
Right.
And I get it's a different environment to be in. Like, I got to choose who did my hair and who did my makeup for our wedding. Granted, I didn't know the person that did our makeup. It was
did your makeup.
Okay. I thought I said mine.
You said our.
Oh, she might have did one of my bridesmaids' makeup too. Oh. Whatever. I don't know the person that did my makeup. She was a friend of the person who did my hair, who happens to also be Tommy's cousin. So it was, I knew my hair was going to be fine. The makeup thing was, I had my sister on standby. Like, if I hate my makeup, fix it.
Yeah.
Like, between my sister and one of my best friends, they can do makeup.
Yeah.
Like, fix it.
And we sitting over in our part getting litty.
Anywho. That's it. Last thing was Chris complaining. Or not complaining, Chris talking about Nicole complaining.
Yeah, that I see that's gonna be, and it's not gonna be this gonna cause me to say no on decision day type of issue. But it's gonna cause a rift in their relationship, just because he's gonna be like, it's okay, and she's gonna be like, no, and then go off on the deep end about why no, about an image of her or something like that. And this, I mean, like, after a while, you can get tired of that same old thing.
The only way to resolve it is to retake wedding pictures.
Yeah, like,
or have another wedding.
Right. Just redo it, and trust
those
that
pictures are still going to exist, though.
Exactly.
And like, every time somebody talks about how you guys got together, those pictures are going to be the ones that are put out there.
It's a picture of me in my middle school yearbook. I think it's horrible. My glasses are crooked because they told me the light's not gonna glare on them. So my glasses are crooked. I had braces. And I don't even think I had a haircut that time. And it's right dab in the middle in the yearbook. You know what I do? Don't look at it. I know what it looks like. It's a terrible picture of me. And yeah, I just move on.
Yeah. Much of my childhood was awkward. So
was it?
Yep.
Mine wasn't, but that picture was.
I mean, I was just always such a skinny, like I was a really thin person, and
me too.
I look a little bit awkward, but don't we all?
Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As kids, like we're cute, but we're awkward.
Like I was just like, oh, this when I saw it. That's the funny part. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh man. Dang. Dang.
Anywho.
I remember the first time you saw that picture. He's like, we got to keep that. I mean, I wasn't going to throw it away, but I ain't going to look at it too much.
I was saying, like, keep it, like, take it from where it was.
Yeah.
Who's next couple?
Gina and Clint.
Gina and Clint, of course, went on the Redneck Bus Tour where caviar meets collard greens.
I want some collards. Collard greens.
Do the tour, do the moonshine tasting, talk about the last names if they make it to a year. If they have kids, the kids are going to have his last name. After the moonshine tasting, Clint is hungover.
Yes, he is.
But they still get up and go for a hike to find a waterfall. They are, for their Monthiversary, redoing their honeymoon.
Yeah.
They're finding ways to redo every element of it besides the argument in Nashville.
They left that out.
What?
The argument.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool that they got to go hiking in Nashville. I always forget that there's water there, even though there's a whole river.
Yeah. It's funny when I laughed when Clint came into the apartment and she was like, "Welcome to Jamaica," and he was like, "Oh, I forgot my passport." And I just found that to be funny, man. I was like, "Oh, that is okay." I really like them. And it's weird that I like them because they are actually going on the dates. I don't think they're getting real deep with each other, right? Mm-hmm. But I think they're enjoying the time.
They're being able to be surface level friends.
Right. But I think they're enjoying the time to actually dig deeper with each other. And they're taking their time because of, I want to be careful. They're still trying to be careful with each other, but they're really enjoying time spent. And I think that's, in new relationships, that's a very important piece of it. Like, you want to be able to go deeper, but you also want to be able to enjoy your person.
Right.
And so I like them. I like that they're able to do that because the experiences, I think, will take them further than them just trying to immediately get to know each other on a deeper level. Like, they do have to get to know each other on a deeper level, but I think with the right balance, it happens more naturally than forced, like some of the other couples are.
Let's talk about a zombie apocalypse and if Hank survives or not.
We've talked about that.
Have we?
Not eating a dog, but
that's what I'm talking about. I was
like, what's our plan in the zombie apocalypse?
Oh yeah, we just got to get there.
We got to get there. We get there, we're good.
Yeah, that's it. And they talk about goals for month 2 of their relationship. So they are at least looking towards the future, at least to us.
He asked her, he told her she runs a good shop. And then he asked her, what's her 10-year personal goal? And then said it's important. And I wrote that down because I didn't find that to be important when it was asked to me. Nobody asked me what's my 10-year goal or 5-year goal now. But when I was in high school and early on in college and stuff like that, that question would come up.
Mm-hmm.
I never had an answer for it. But now, being 36, well, even in my 30s, it was like, damn, that's an important question.
Mm-hmm.
You must have an answer for that, because you can't just not have a way, like which way you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to have some type of plan, and it's. I thought that was them moving in the direction of being deeper. She didn't have a answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like,
she's not thinking about her personal life
right,
as much as she's thinking about her professional life. Because he was like, take away the job.
Yeah. And what's
difficult.
what you got? And she's like, I don't have anything. So it's something to actually think about when it comes to them and them getting to know each other on a deeper level. It led me to another question for them. Are they growing in love or in friendship? And is that good for their relationship? My answer to that question is, I think they're growing
I'm typing this so that I can ask this later.
Oh, okay. In a friendship, but the balance has to be there for it to become love. Like, I think they have the I'm married part. We're becoming friends.
Yeah.
When do we become lovers? And I don't think they're there at this moment, but I think
they're light years beyond where I thought they were going to be.
Oh yeah, I didn't think they were going to make it this far, but they do have to get over that hump of the friendship.
Like, figure it out, guys. Figure it out. You want to go check in Kirsten or Eris or Jasmine? I'm sorry, my allergies are bothering me already.
I got Jasmine and Eris next, so.
Okay. Eris goes to have drinks with one of his friends, and he tells his friend, ask him about like where he is as far as what base he's made it to, and he was like, I haven't even put on the uniform yet. I'm in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. God, dog.
His friend is trying to help him not be so hung up on looks. His friend suggested that they go on more dates, and he was like, I need to talk more to try to figure things out. And I'm like, if y'all aren't having any type of intimacy, and I'm saying that because of Jasmine, the way that she mentioned it to him, it seems like y'all would like figure out easily how to get there, but I guess it's always because he veers to sex, and then she like, I don't want to talk to him about this.
Well, another thing, what's probably happening is they're having conversations, but it's not. It's a conversation of, where my keys at?
Yeah,
and they're probably on their phones a lot, and they probably not talking to each other the way they, you would think honeymoon stages and new couples would talk to each other, or somebody that's trying to get to know each other, because Eris doesn't strike me as a person that's very talkative, and especially if you're mentally not interested. I don't want to say checked out, because
that was his word, not mine.
Like at one point, but it's if you're like mentally not interested, because that's what I think it is. It's she's not this type, or she don't look this way. So I ain't really interested in XYZ. It's like, y'all not gonna talk. You're just trying to, you're just counting down the days, it seems like. I feel bad for Jasmine, because I don't think she did anything wrong, and I do
feel like Jasmine got the short end of the stick with this.
Definitely. She did. But go ahead.
They go to a rage room for their 1-month anniversary. She says that she's frustrated because they haven't progressed well, and she doesn't like where they are. They go somewhere. I don't remember where it was, to have their 1 month anniversary dinner. It was like a barn or something, and they still just had dinner in the grass. I was like, this is awkward.
It was almost like a picnic, but with a table.
But I was like, this barn says love. Are we not going to at least eat in the barn?
The idea that she's still hopeful that things like they have to do a complete 180 for yes.
He does.
Yeah, but I mean, I say they because it takes two to be in a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Things have to change, and she's still hopeful that things will change. But he doesn't, like, with their conversation, them taking when they were, they looked at their book and everything, like their marriage pictures and stuff like that, and her talking about she's not as happy as she was that day. She was looking forward to being married. She was this, she was that on that day. But now it's like, why did I do this type of feeling? It's like, man, just his responses to everything. Let's take sex off the table. Why haven't y'all did that?
I thought it was off the table because he wasn't interested.
Right.
So I would never think that you would just, well, never mind.
Well,
I was about to say I wouldn't think you have sex just to be having sex, but
yeah, we do that.
He obviously would.
Like, men do that.
Obviously. So I don't know.
It's like when they was like, okay, we're gonna take sex off the table, and she was saying, well, we need to grow more in intimacy. I was like, there's the flaw in your plan, because what does that look like? Did y'all talk about things that you can do to be more intimate without having sex? Because in his mind, intimacy is sex. So it's a trained thing. Like, I know it's different for girls versus boys, because it's certain trigger words. It's like, oh, sex. But for girls, it's
mean like breakfast,
sex.
See,
yes,
it has absolutely nothing to do with it.
I mean, you can make it. Anyway, I was trying to get a burp out at the same time, but It's just that planning of what does this look like, because that's an unnatural thing, right? I'm going to be intimate with you, but we're not going to have sex because sex is off the table until decision day. And why is that important? They didn't talk about why that's important. How does that look like? What does that look like? How do we accomplish that?
Sex being taken off the table is only important so that Jasmine stops being hopeful for it.
Yeah. I think it's important for, I think for him, it was more so he doesn't have to say no anymore. Like, which is weird to say, right? He doesn't have to tell her no to sex because they agreed not to have it. Okay, now what? How do we get to where we need to be if we say yes on decision day, sex will be back on the table, because you can't have a sexless marriage. It's like, what's the point at that point? Not what's the point, but it's like, what are y'all doing? You gotta have sex. I just saw that flaw in the plan, and he's just trying to make it to decision day so he can say no and move on with her friend. I promise you, that's what's gonna happen.
And she's gonna see them happy and be like, I got him to love.
She gonna be like, what she gonna do is on the reunion, she's gonna be bitter because he's in a happy place, and she's not gonna be moved on because, well, she's gonna be moved on past him, but she's not gonna be in a relationship because this situation. She's never been in a situation where the guy didn't like her because he didn't feel like she was attractive enough or whatever it is. Because at the beginning of the episode when he was talking to his friend, he was like, it's nothing she does that's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't joke together that can lead to me being attracted to her. She don't dress the way that I would think would make her more attractive. She's not she's not a sneakerhead. We don't, like, he harped on commonalities between them. And she even said it, was talking about they don't have anything in common. Or they haven't discovered it. And I was like, y'all been living together for a month and haven't figured out what you guys like together? That's what led to me to believe that they're not talking to each other.
I agree. Like, I'm sure they're not talking to each other. I don't know. I guess unless I just don't like you, period, I can usually find a way to find a common ground.
Right.
And, I don't want to say laugh and joke, but find something that you and I have vested interest in together. And I have a coworker. We have nothing in common outside of the fact that we're both from the South and we both are gardening.
Yeah.
We talk about gardening all the time.
Right. Right.
And she's much more progressing to it because, like, she got the animals and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like we sat up and talked for 10 minutes yesterday about black apples.
Really?
Yep.
Those not plums? I'm kidding. That was a jokey joke.
But
but it's just, it's sad for Jasmine because I could understand if she was like truly not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I find not attractive on her is her teeth, and it's her bottom teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And I could get past that to actually have it, but my personality says I'm not finna sit in this house and not talk to you. We're not going to.
That's why your daughter talks so much.
Yeah, we're not. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna eat good. We're gonna enjoy each other's company. Now, if we decide to say yes or no on decision day, that's solely up to us individually. But we're gonna have a good time because I can't waste time like that, and I can't be caught up with I just don't like her. Mm-hmm. I don't like a person because of the person they are. Mm-hmm. Because of the rules that they make in their life. Like, if somebody is a drug addict and I don't do drugs, I'm not gonna hang around that person. If somebody stinks and I don't like their smell, I'm gonna say, hey, take a bath. Between me and you, go take a bath, go freshen up a little bit. You stink.
I'm only laughing because this has happened.
What?
You be like, hey, how you washing?
Stop it.
Is that not what happened?
That's definitely what happened. Okay. But it was an issue that I found fault with. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't an issue of me trying to be mean. It was an issue of I want you better.
No, I'm not saying you were trying to be mean. It was
that conversation was awkward.
I know that you've had this conversation before. That's why I'm like, this isn't a thing.
But that's my personality, and with Aris, and we can see his personality is very. I'm going to shut off and go look the other way because I don't want to deal with this situation. And I feel like he's looking at the 8 weeks as a finish line. I can say no and move on with my life.
Yeah. He told her that he thinks sex will cause her to have an attachment to him that isn't needed. Or that's what he said in his confessional. And I was like, an attachment that isn't needed says I am not here for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The buck stops here.
Yeah. We ain't having sex.
Like week 8, day 7, or day 1 or day 7. I don't know exactly when they do it. We are done, son.
The last thing I got about them is this fool asked, is married sex different from single sex?
Oh, he asked Nicole and Chris that.
And I was like, what you think? I was like, why is that an important question? Out of all the questions you could ask, right? How, like, attraction, how are you guys dealing with that? What do you do? How can I work on it?
There are 2 other couples that are having attraction issues.
Right.
Like, the only couple that is not one-sided, or I shouldn't say one-sided because I don't know what Clint and Gina feel, but the only couple that is like, yep, got what I wanted on both sides is Nicole and Chris. Like, this is the time to talk to Shaquille and Kirsten because
they're having, and more so Kirsten than Shaquille.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to Clint and Gina, both of them claimed they had attraction issues. How did you get past it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you want to know about, is married sex different from single sex?
That you not having because you just said we not doing it.
N-word.
Anywho, let's jump to the last couple.
Let's do it.
We got a time constraint going here. So Kirsten and Shaquille. Kirsten goes to the nail shop with one of her friends.
You got to talk real fast now.
I'm not talking real fast.
Go for it.
Kirsten goes to the nail shop with one of her friends and they talk about how fast everything is moving. And she says she wants him to, I would hold and connect with her, but the word probably shouldn't be hold. I said she rejected him and can't understand how she ended up being on the other side of rejection. A person can only ask for something so many times. And I mean anything. I'm not talking about sex or whatever. Like, it could be as simple as, will you go get the mail out of the mailbox? If I ask you that twice and you don't do it, fine, I'm not going to ask you to do it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how a lot of people operate.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to turn into a nagging person about something.
Nobody wants to hear no all the time.
Right. So she has been consistently rejecting him for a month as far as everything is concerned. Like, I don't want to kiss you because I'm a bad kisser. First it was, I don't want to kiss him because I don't like him. Then it was, I don't want to kiss him because I'm a bad kisser.
Did you see on the preview they kiss?
I did.
Did you smile?
No. Then it turned into, I lost my train of thought. I don't want to kiss you because I don't like you. I don't want to kiss you because I'm not a good kisser. Then it turns into, when he come home, he don't say, hey, and give me a kiss.
I think that's rude that he don't say, hey.
We don't know if he says hey or not. Like, he's still Southern.
Yeah.
I'm sure he walk in the house and be like, hey.
That's tough for me to believe.
How was your day? Like, I
you know, somebody did that to me one time. Like, we was somewhere. I was somewhere. And because we weren't together.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought process is, I'm in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And along with like 5 other people.
Mm-hmm.
Person walks in, speaks to everybody.
Except for you?
Except for me.
By name?
Yeah. Like, they knew me.
Mm-hmm. No, just what I'm asking. Like, they was like...
No. Yeah, like, they specifically...
I was about to be funny and go through DMX and be like, hey, Brenda, Letitia. Linda, Felicia.
Keisha.
Not talking to Tommy. So, okay.
But it was like... Now, I'm a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you put me on a white sheet, I look like an exclamation point. Just a small one.
Go ahead.
And I'm like, how you didn't see me? And it's lit, like the room was lit. It's not like it's a huge room.
Mm-hmm.
Room was lit. How you didn't see me, but you saw everybody else? That, like, for a Southern guy, or in a Southern state, or, you know, just where you are, just being a human being, it's like it's hard to believe that he just walks in and don't say it's hi.
Mm-hmm.
or acknowledge her being human at that point. Anyway, I digress. I got you lost. They was at the skating rink.
I hadn't gotten to the skating rink yet. We were still talking about the lack of hugs and kisses when he walked in the house. I was like, I don't know. So now we're at the skating rink.
Okay.
That's where they're going to celebrate their 1 month anniversary. He had helmets and knee pads.
Man.
Or production had helmets and knee pads.
I feel the knee pads, man. Have you ever fell on your knee lately?
No.
Have you ever taken a knee, or lately have you taken a knee?
Remember when I had to get a shot right around the time, it was before I found out I was pregnant with Quad, when my knee was like out for like 2 weeks. Yeah. Like that was...
Hey man, them, like growing up, we didn't have any of that stuff.
No, we had it. Our mamas was like, no.
I didn't have a helmet.
That's what I'm saying. Our mama, there were helmets. They existed. Yeah. Our mamas were not buying helmets and knee pads.
Nah.
As much of my childhood that I spent skating, that's something that I've never been like, ooh, I want to go skating. Like I owned skates.
Yeah. Skating wasn't my favorite thing to do. So I don't really, I know how to skate, but I don't really like skating that much.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but he had them knee pads. She had her knee pads and helmet. And I was like, man, shoot, y'all being safe. Mm-hmm. Then they had dinner on the skating rink floor.
Yeah, he said that he wants to learn all sides of her. Like they were talking about their future, and she was like, she's excited for them to like travel together and do all these things. And he was like, I want to spend time with family and friends and get to know you as a sister, you as a best friend, you as like the different roles in your life. And she was like, well, to do that, you got to spend time with me. He was like, basically, have I not done enough? She says she wants to focus on the lifetime and feels that he's too focused on decision day. And she's very hesitant to let him around her family. And I was like, man, you got to get over that. That is one thing that I have never been hesitant about. Like, everybody can meet my mom and dad. They don't care. Like, my family didn't know who I was talking to. Remember, my brother told you.
Yeah.
It was just like, you could meet anybody. And I never introduced guys as my boyfriend, which granted, hers is a little bit different of a situation because that is her husband. Mm-hmm. But you were introduced to my family, not you specifically, but guys in the past were introduced to my family first name. Actually, you were too. No title needed for the situation, because if we gonna be together, we'll be together. If we're not, we're not. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not going out of my way because I don't want you to feel like this means more than it does.
Yeah.
And my family don't get attached like that either.
No.
So, although my godmom still asks about my high school boyfriend, and I'd be like, girl, I haven't talked to him in 30 years.
Yeah. That's funny.
I know it ain't been 30 years, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
After dinner, they go back to the apartment. He helps her. Oh, this was after the couple's dinner. He said that he felt blindsided at the couple's dinner about the intimacy conversation because, I'm trying to find exactly
it was confusing what she was saying, because she was like, basically she was like, I like him a little. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, that's not what we're talking about here.
I think what happened is she has never been a person who has been rejected in any way. And so now that someone is not like running behind her to be with her, she's like, how dare he? I am a catch. And she's like, well, now I gotta want him because he don't want me. And that's what it's turning into, I think, personally.
Like I feel like I think she likes him, but truly does not know how to express that I like him because their conversation, and I'm kind of mixing everything in because it fits. It's like an aha moment. When they were sitting down, and this is where men get confused with communicating with women. Like, it's not that his communication is off. It's her not communicating with him how she wants to be communicated to. She said, I asked you, how are you feeling? Because he, like you said, he felt blindsided, right? And she was like, well, I asked you how you're feeling about our marriage. You just need to ask me that. And he was like, his rebuttal to it was, why you just can't tell me?
And I get that. We're talking about it.
Right. Why you just can't say, hey, I feel this way. How do you feel? Or, we're talking about it, and you express your feelings. She was like, if I don't tell you, you need to ask. They're your feelings. Why can't you just tell me? And that's the confusing part, because for us, it's, look, I don't like this, and this is what we need to do to change it.
You know how Lily gets really upset, and she was like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's how I felt in that moment.
Man, and I get and I get everything Shaq was saying and his emotion about it, because he was like, basically paraphrasing, he was like, man, I can't put 100% into this, and you give the bare minimum.
He's literally just been like, hey, you're guarded. I've tried to help you get your guard down, but that's your cross to bear.
Yeah.
You need to figure out what your issue is, because it's not my issue.
Yeah.
I'm not going through those same things that you're going through.
I still believe Shaq can direct the conversation a little bit more, because she's not a person that does it. But just simply asking the question of, how do you want me to communicate with you? And she expresses, this is what I want you to do, can help tremendously. Like, it's crazy and it's uncomfortable, but you have to have those uncomfortable moments with your spouse to really learn and grow with your spouse, because me at 30, me at 36 are two different people. Similar, very similar to each other, but they're two different people. So it's still a continuous growth. Then from month one to the end of month one, they're two different people. So it's like, I'm still trying to get to know you, but from the beginning, you used to didn't like me. Now you like me. How do I deal with that? What do I need to do to make sure that we're growing at the same pace and liking each other? Because I've always liked you, but I don't like this guarded you that's expressing to me, you want more, but you're not giving anything. And that's Shaq's problem. She's not like giving him anything.
Crying, yelling, what more do you want from me?
Right. That's what's happening.
But like, that's me, the viewer, is yelling, what more? Like, girl, you don't see it?
And the issue is,
because I see it.
The issue is, she wants more, but she doesn't know how to express what I want, because she's never had to do it.
And I get that. I completely get that. There are a lot of elements of our relationship that I've never had to explore with another person. Obviously, parenthood being the biggest one. And explaining things to people and trying to talk through them is difficult, because it's emotions that you haven't quite figured out, but you got to figure them out in some kind of way. So I don't know who she needs to talk to, but she needs to talk to them beyond, he don't come home and give me a hug and a kiss.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry.
It needs to be why do I feel this way? Because when you come home from work, I am usually at work, right? I never think He didn't come in here and give me a kiss.
I always tap my head in and say, hey.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I don't feel like, oh, he ain't coming here. Even if I'm off work, it's not a exact, let me give you a hug, let me give you a kiss type situation. But that's not what I need from you.
Right.
She needs to figure out, is it the hug and the kiss that she needs, or does she need more than that? And that's how it's manifesting itself.
And then sometimes it's a thing of, if you're not giving it to me, I'm gonna make you give it to me by doing it. Mm-hmm. Like leading by example. That's a lot of times I realize certain things happen that I want to happen because I initiated. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, there's a lot of stuff that happens that I want to happen, but it's not because I initiated, or vice versa. But
I feel like you just talked in a riddle.
I did. But
and I don't know what any of these things are.
What is this N-word talking about? But
it's like salon and salon. What?
I really was confused on that. But anyway, we here. But it's she has to figure out the things that she wants and what he is and what he isn't giving her. Mm-hmm. Once she does that, I think they're growing into a better place. But she has to do that fast. Like that needs to happen this week.
Real fast.
Like you need to sit down, figure it out, because you're saying all the things that he's not doing, but he's not the type of person not to do it.
That we've seen.
Like if it was Aris that she's asking these things of, mm-hmm. I don't believe Aris does those for her. But if she says, hey, when you get home, hug and kiss me, Shaq will hug and kiss her every day. Mm-hmm. Make it a point.
And it's going to be a big grand hug.
Right. Every day until she be like, man, why did I open that, Pandora's box of this? So it's asking, you shall receive type of deal. So that's all I got. I'm just babbling.
Do you have a question for them?
This not for them.
I know you had the Clint and Gina question.
No, I don't think I had one for them.
All right, so we'll use Clint and Gina's question. Are Clint and Gina growing in love or in friendship? I think it's friendship.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below.
Answers.
I thought you were about to say something.
No, I was just dancing with my hands.
Tomorrow, Saturday morning,
coffee break,
8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I hope our children stay asleep this time, or it might not be an hour. Cause
boy, we was trying our best to get to that hour last week, man, with them kids. Stop this, go upstairs, do this, do that. Hush. We're talking here. Also, man, join our membership, man. We are recording this live. Early in the morning.
Yeah, but it's late for
it's very late for us because we got to go to work in like 15 minutes.
15? 2.
So join our membership and you can join us live when we record our reviews and our podcast. We're actually going to start recording our podcast tomorrow in the afternoon. So catch that live for our members. And yeah.
If all hearts and minds are agreed.
I bid you guys adieu. I love you guys. Thank you guys. See you guys in the morning. Peace.
Bye, y'all.